Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Daniel Wargo and I am back in the kitchen for a brand new episode of Forking Around, a show where the jokes are bad and the cooking comes second. And if you're new to this channel, first off, welcome. I'm glad you're here. This is a show where I go from being a terrible home cook to becoming a world-class chef. So this is that journey. This month, February 2021, is Pasta Month. It's time to make pasta. I have been spending all of these weeks learning as much as I can about pasta, and on last week's episode, I actually made my very own pasta from scratch. You can check that out up here. I wouldn't miss it if I were you. And today, I'm actually feeling pretty cocky, a little bit confident after last week's homemade pasta success. So today, I'm making homemade gnocchi. Gnocchi. Homemade gnocchi. The gnocchis are homemade. Okay, I sound like Borat, I think. So I'm making homemade gnocchi. It's gonna be fun. So buckle up, baby. Oh, should we get started with our recipe now? Okay, all right. First off, I should say that the recipe that I am following most closely today is Chef Joshua Weissman's, who's a fellow YouTuber. I have got that link down in the description. His gnocchi look delicious, so I'm hoping that it turns out as good as it looked. So we're starting with some potatoes. He said 3 potatoes, but these are really small. So I have 4, kinda. And I'm just gonna boil them in water, skin on. Skin on. I don't really know why, because we're gonna take the skin off later, but we're gonna leave it on for now. Got it? Capiche? All right, and we're gonna let that sit for like 30 or 45 minutes. So that was a whole lot of work to just wait around for a while. I'll see you in a bit. Whew, all right, the potatoes are done. So now the fun begins. All right, so the first thing I've got to do is like deskin these. I think I cooked some of them too long, but I had this big one. I don't know, it's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't either, just be chill. Okay, so we've got our potatoes deskinned and now it is time to mash. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, that first mash feels so good though. Okay, so we've got mashed potatoes. I've let them cool down just a little bit so that they don't burn my hands when I'm making this dough. So now it's time to actually make the dough that will become our gnocchi. So we're kind of making our gnocchi. Get it? All right, so we're gonna start with 1 egg and a generous serving of salt. And I'm just gonna stir this in together first. All right, and then I'm gonna flour this surface here that I'm going to use. Okay, and then we're gonna put like somewhere around 1.5 to 2 cups of flour, but Josh says that you should kind of just inch it in so that you can kind of work it in and see how much you actually need. And this way you get to really know your dough. You know, your dough. Don't worry, I've sanitized the counter. Again, I don't have a long enough cutting board, so I have to actually utilize the counter, but it is clean. What I really learned last week from making the pasta dough is that I love dough. Like, I love making dough. It's so fun. You like work with your hands. It's a good time. It's messy, but it's coming together. We're getting close. I can feel it. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my dough. That's a good amount of dough. Yo! This is gonna be awesome. So excited. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up a little bit and then we're gonna get to making our gnocchi. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna separate this dough into 4 sections. And what we're gonna do is we're just going to place it here and we're just gonna roll it out into like a long stick, little dough stick. Okay, something like that. And then we're gonna chop it into like 1-inch little squares, little gnocchis. All right, and then I'm just gonna place them on a tray for right now. And we're gonna do it with the next one. And here we are, gnocchi. Okay, so one last step before we actually cook them, actually kind of 2. We wanna put some ridges on them because if they have a little ridge or a little divot, then they are gonna hold a little bit more sauce, which we want. We want as much sauce as possible. So you can use a fork, I guess. Never done this before, obviously, but like you just kind of do this and kind of press in. Yeah, and then you get this little fork texture, and then your fingerprint makes a little bowl in the back, and so you got 2 places to have your gnocchi. So I'm just gonna do that with all of them. And then the last thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these in the freezer for a little bit, for about a half hour, let them all set, and then I'm going to cook them with an amazing sauce, and I'm gonna eat them with my amazing mouth. Okay, it's gnocchi time. It is dinner time. I'm gonna salt my water. Ooh, that was fun. And it should only take a couple minutes for the gnocchi to boil and cook and get all cooked through. Okay, so we're just waiting for the gnocchi to like rise in the water, and that's how we should know that they're done. I guess the longer that you cook them, the more firm the texture is gonna be, so it's dependent on, you know, what you want. I like firm dough, so I might leave it in there just a little bit longer than normal. I'm gonna save this for another time. Apparently you can just freeze it and use it again, so that's what I'm gonna do. I've got a creamy pesto sauce I'm cooking over here, and yeah, we should be ready to eat in a couple of minutes. Okay, I've got it. Here's my gnocchi with my creamy pesto sauce. I didn't make the pesto from scratch, but I made the sauce from some pesto and then other ingredients, so almost from scratch. I'm so excited. It's still pretty hot. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so tasty. Wow, I love this. The gnocchi is like, it's firm, but it's not too firm. It's got a really good texture to it. And the little divots are definitely helping hold that sauce. This is awesome. This is so cool. One of the great things about doing all of this stuff is that it kind of just breaks down the barriers that make this stuff a little bit scary. So I'm learning so much, and I'm learning that I can actually do a lot of this stuff. It's not impossible. It just is a matter of understanding what you're doing and getting it done and actually doing it. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna go eat this with my family and enjoy it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment, let me know what I did wrong and what you'd like to see me cook next. And as always, have a wonderful day in the universe and eat a cookie. Cheers. I've got potatoes in here and they're just concerned about people walking their dogs outside. I have potatoes here. It's okay. Hey. He's just choosing not to listen to me. Hey. He's like, what? There's a bird. There's a bird. What, Dad? There's a bird out there.